Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a review of one of my favourite bags and my first neutral bag, and that is the highly sought after Givenchy Antigona. Oh gosh. I have the Givenchy Antigona in small, in this beautiful beige, almost dusty pink, and it's in the patent leather, or patent leather, I'm not really sure, patent. And I just wanted to make a review on this because it's a bag that I've had in my collection now for over 2 years, and like with my Chanel boy bag video, I thought it would be a good time to do a 2-year wear and tear update. I've only ever shown this, I think, on Instagram, and it's not the season at the moment to wear this beautiful colour as of yet, but since spring is almost here, I thought it would be a good time to do a review in case you guys are thinking about getting one of these yourselves. The way I'm going to do this video is going to be similar to the Chanel boy bag review. If you haven't seen that, I will link that below. So I'll talk about the specs of the bag, where I bought it, the price, even the weight. I will be doing that as well. Then I'll go on to what fits in the bag, and a lot of these items will be the same as what I used in my boy bag, so it'll give you a good reference point there. Then I'll talk about how I usually wear this bag, and then I'll talk about the pros, the cons, and then finally wear and tear. So you might want to grab a drink or a snack for this one, but hopefully it's very informative for you guys. And yeah, let's just get started. So to start off the review, I'm just going to go into a little bit of context about the Givenchy Antigona bag. So it was a bag that I believe was introduced in 2010, that sort of time, and it's become very quickly a staple to the fashion house. It is a bag that is highly sought after, and since the point that I actually got it, I know we're skipping ahead a little bit here, but since I've actually got it, the price has consistently increased. It just showcases to me and to a lot of others, I'm sure, that this is a good investment, as well as just being a good all-round bag to have in your handbag collection. So this bag is pretty distinctive in its look and its design. It looks very classy, very elegant. It's characterized obviously by its top handle, and then it's just a very structured bag that holds its shape very well. And it's also got a shoulder strap. So with this removable strap, you can actually wear this bag in a few different ways. So obviously you can wear it in the traditional top handle. Alternatively, you can feed your arm through and wear it as a crook of the arm bag, which I personally love the most. It's my favorite way of wearing it. And then the final way that you can wear it is on the shoulder, so it's very handy if you have a heavier bag or you just want to be hands-free, because not all the time you want to have something in the crook of your arm or just holding it when you're actually needing to do something with both hands. So it's pretty versatile actually, and in those ways to wear it, you can make it a lot more casual, obviously, if you wear it on the shoulder than if you're just wearing it like a top handle bag. So I love the variety that it gives you. So the Givenchy Antigona that I have here is in the size small. However, it does come in 3 sizes, I believe. So the mini, then you've got this one, which is a small, and then you've got a really big one, which is the medium, which to me is like the size of, almost similar to the size of my Keep All, my Louis Vuitton Keep All. So as a reference point for sizing, so the measurements of the bag are length 11 inches, then you've got the height, which is 9.45 inches, then you've got the depth, which is 6.5 inches. So you get a lot of bag for your money, which is great, but then obviously you've got the associated weight gain with it as well. This bag, I saw this on social media because it was just everywhere, and I'd never actually really explored Givenchy that much in my handbag buying career, and I was just looking for an all-round bag that was probably in neutral colour, because I had a lot of black tote bags, and then I was, getting into the black mini bags and backpacks, and I saw this bag on social media just on a whim in this colour, which was a colourway that I'd never seen before, and I just knew this was the bag that I had to get. At the time, I believe it was in 2015 at some point, it was autumn, winter I think, when I decided to look for this bag. I was at that point scrambling to find this bag for the longest time. I called up stores basically around the country, and then I just contacted personal shoppers from a variety of different companies, and they basically told me that it was, because it was in like spring, summer of that year, or maybe even the year before, it was going to be pretty impossible to find, and if you were to find one, it would probably be on the pre-loved market. So I was quite disheartened by that, but then I suddenly had like a random brainwave, and I just thought, Vista Village. I rang up and I just described the bag as best as I could, because I didn't know like the product name or code, and lo and behold, they said that they had it. I literally went the next day and I took a bit of a risk there because it could be a different shade of beige or a really bright pink, and I just had no idea. So I took the train down, I went there and literally beelined it to Givenchy, and I saw the bag and I was so happy because they had even like the classic black ones, I think. There was a beautiful cherry red one, and then this one, and they were actually in the small size and the medium, which is massive, by the way. Like, way too big for my frame, more of a travel bag in my opinion, but I saw it there, it was like glistening in front of me. I think it was the only one there. I tried it on immediately, loved it. I looked at the price tag and I was very pleased to find that it was £950, which, contrary to full price, I think if it was actually in stock and still in season, it would have been probably around the 1,200 mark. And now, considering the prices of Givenchy Antigonas, which I hadn't checked for a while, but I checked earlier on the internet, and I think it's now like 1,600, which is crazy because that's 2 and a bit years of inflation. So, and plus I got this on a discount, so I'm very pleased about that. And this is a colourway that is just so unique. I've not seen anything like this again. I've only really seen the beige ones, which in my opinion are a bit too beige. I don't like wearing too much of a yellowy or brown bag. So this fit really well into my lifestyle. So that's just some background on how I got the bag. Now I'll go into a bit more specifications on the bag itself. So like I mentioned earlier in this video, this is the small Givenchy Antigona bag, which again, it's really not small, it's like the size of my head. This bag has silver hardware, which, as you know, I love silver hardware. It's got the exposed stitch work, which I really love. It's quite subtle as well. With a strap detail here, which on my model, because I think of the age and the season, it isn't adjustable or removable, but it's quite useful to put it on your shoulder when you are wanting to be a bit more hands-free. The bag also has feet inbuilt. They are just the same sort of leather material, and it's very thick actually, it's very durable, so this whole thing is very, very sturdy. Even if you didn't have the feet, just the white clean nature of this bag, because it's a patent leather, is already really, really good. So those are the main details of the bag. Now if I go inside the bag, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to open this because it's so like structured and rigid. Oh my god, it's actually quite hard to open. So I don't know if you can see here, it's this sort of fabric lining, and you've got one pocket here. Oh my gosh, I'm actually feeling like I'm sweating. You've got a pocket here, and it's quite generous. I will do what's in my bag, or what fits in the bag rather, later on, but it's a very generous size. And then obviously you've got the deeper void where you put the rest of your stuff, and then you've got what essentially looks like an old school phone pouch, which no one's phone is the size of the Nokia anymore, so I don't know why that's there. And then one that looks more realistic as a phone pouch, but you just put your other spare things in there. And that's the basics of the bag. Before I get into what's in my bag, I'm going to do what I did in the boy bag video, and I'm going to weigh it. And again, I have my trusty kitchen scales. And if you do have a Givenchy Antigona yourself, I think we can all agree that it's very heavy, but I've never seen the weight listed online. This is on grams. Ooh. Okay, so if I remember correctly, the boy bag was just under 1 kilogram. So it was about 900. This one is 1.1 kilograms, or to be precise, 1,106 grams. So, okay then. So I'm gonna fill this up now and do a what fits in the bag. I'll weigh it afterwards with the stuff in, and it's gonna be at least double, I predict. But yeah, we'll see about that. So now we're on the what fits in my bag section, and I've got a lot of items on the table in front of me. I may even need more depending on what I can get in here at the moment. First thing I'll put in is obviously my phone, and sometimes I'll have this on my body, but just for visualization, this is my new iPhone Plus, and I'm just going to pop it in my zip compartment. Next thing I'm going to put is my card holder here, and I'll put that also in the zip compartment. Fits very comfortably. And then I will put my key holder, and I'm going to put that in the elasticated side compartment. It's It's quite snug, but it just about fits. Then I'm going to put an umbrella because with this British weather, you know, it could be any time. Then I'm going to add a bottle of water because y'all know you've got to stay hydrated. So I'm going to put that and I'm going to stand it up. Then I'm going to put my external battery and I found the base of it. So it looks like a lolly again. And I'm going to put it in the bottom. Then with that, I'm going to put my iPhone charging cable. Because we all need that because that one was Android, unfortunately. Then I've got this rather cute little strawberry here. And if you guys didn't know already what this is, it's not just for decoration. It's actually a shopping bag! And oh my god, this gets people every time when I bring this out. I love this. And this is fantastic for when you're on the go and you have a handbag but you don't want to put loads of like plastic bags in there. That goes in the bottom. I'm going to have this little box here of lady products. And I'm going to put that in the pocketed area. Then I've got a pair of earphones. I'll put that in there. So this is going to be dangerous, I don't want it to fall out, but you can see everything pretty much in there. And then I've got a hand cream, an Oyster card, which I will put in my zip compartment. The zip compartment still has space, by the way. I've got a compact here, which I'm going to put in the same area as the hand cream. I've got a lipstick here, which I will also put in there. Then I've got this cute little cookie mirror. Things are getting a bit busy there, so I'm going to put it in the zip compartment. Now I've got my trusty hand wash. I've replaced the other one if you watched my boy bag video. I've got this perfume stick here in the shape of this cute little bear guy. Oh. So I'll put that where all the other liquids are. Then I've got a packet of mints. Oh my god, this just keeps going. Wow. Sorry, I really should hold this high, but it's so heavy right now. Little update. You can see the top right here, there's still space. I've actually put my DSLR, which I'm filming on, so I can't show you that, but I've put that in here very comfortably before. I've also put shoes in here before. Now I've got my trusty little Swiss knife. That one I'll put in my zip compartment because we can fit a lot in that compartment. Alright, so I've got like 4 more items that I could potentially fit in here, and I probably could actually. Let's just do it for the sake of packing it to the maximum. So I've got this Chanel wallet here. I did pack a card holder, so I wouldn't put 2 actually. I'm going to try and put it in anyway because I can. And I just sit that on top. I mean, this isn't ideal in the sense that you'd probably want to be able to see all of your items. However, if this is your going away bag or you're using this for like a whole day non-stop, then this is the stuff that you could fit in there. Now I just have a couple of small items here. So I've got a pack of wet wipes. These are Hello Kitty. And then I've got this snack here, which is like a hawthorn fruit snack. If you're Asian, you may know this as guodampi. I love these. Oh my god, they taste so good. And then the last thing I have to put in here is a scrunchie. I'll just shove in one of the little pockets. So that is at full capacity. I don't even want to hold the handles actually. That is literally at max capacity. Like I've never packed it this full before. Oh my god. So that's it at full capacity. I dread to think what it weighs on the scales, but let's do it anyway. So let's turn this baby on. Oh my god. Wow. So kilograms is 3.2. That's 3 times the weight of the bag. So to be exact, in grams, it's 3,225 grams. Oh my god. I mean, if I was to hold it in the crook of my arm, I think it would be a little bit better. Maybe shoulder, but definitely not top handle. I wouldn't actually wear it this heavy. I don't even know how the bag would wear if you were to use this as a day-to-day bag this heavy. It would kill your shoulders, I'm sure. And even though you can fit a lot in, you probably shouldn't for something that's small. Definitely doesn't feel small. So I'm going to move on to pros and cons very shortly, but before that I just wanted to do a quick mention of the way that I like to style this bag, wear this bag. So this is my go-to bag for wearing anything neutral. This is my perfect spring summer bag. I love this bag for traveling and just going a full day without needing to change a bag. this fits absolutely everything in there. It's got the variety, obviously, with the different ways to wear it, and it's something that can transition very well from day to night. Obviously, it's not an ideal night bag if you are going out for the evening and you don't want to take a lot of stuff. However, it's a bag that you can make very formal because of the classic and simplistic look, and you can, dress it down equally with jeans and trainers. So to me, it just ticked a lot of boxes with what I wanted from this bag. So now, with all of the points that I mentioned before in mind, I'm going to go on to the pros and cons section. So I'm going to start obviously with the pros. So the first pro that I have, which I mentioned earlier, is just the sturdiness and just the overall quality of the bag. When I considered buying this bag to start with, I didn't realise just how durable and just how high quality this bag was going to be until I saw it in the flesh. I mean, yes, it's a heavy bag, but the quality of it is just unrivaled, especially for the £2 price tag difference that this bag will have compared to a Chanel classic or boy bag. And I just don't see the same thickness of leather on Chanel as I do with this particular bag. The patent leather is very durable. It is almost indestructible. I've had no marks on it. In fact, anything that I did have before, it was literally just a wipe away situation. So I was very impressed with that. It's just really sturdy, very rigid, which I love. So the second pro that I have is just the overall look. And I just love the elegant, simplistic design of the bag. It fits so much in. It's my Mary Poppins bag, and yet the look is not something that's like slouchy or really oversized. Another aspect of the look that I like is the colour and the patent leather finish. I find that this colour goes with absolutely everything that I wear, and along with that, the colour is in the patent leather. So it has no worries in terms of colour transfer, and it's in such a unique colourway that I've not seen repeated. I always get compliments on this bag because of the colour actually. So another big pro that I have of this bag is the price point. Not just in terms of affordability, but also in terms of resale value or just general investment. So this bag was just under £1,000 when I bought it. And I love the fact that I could buy this bag at a discount at places like Bicester Village, which is very unique for a bag that is quite coveted to be on discounted outlets. And yet, with that said, even without the discount, the bag is still relatively affordable compared to higher tier fashion houses like the Chanel's, like the Louis Vuittons, if you get the bag from their classic range. So you get a lot of bag for your money, and it will not show signs of wear really. So affordability wise and value for money, I think it is excellent. And now to talk about the resale or investment aspect of the bag, I think this bag is good in holding its value, and you'll probably get at least the same, if not a little bit more than what you paid for. Obviously that's dependent on the wear of the item, if you have the full set, with authenticity card, etc. But from what I found on resale websites, this bag is pretty consistent in the price. I don't see it going down very much, so I think that's fantastic. And these bags have really stood the test of time so far, so fingers crossed that it continues to go that way. If you are a first-time luxury buyer in particular, I highly recommend this bag as a starter bag. And the price increases I don't think are as crazy as Chanel, Hermes or Louis Vuitton. So you'll be safe in the knowledge of getting this for a relatively good and stable price. Another big pro that I have obviously is just the size of it. Now, I'm speaking obviously only on the small size that I have. However, with the other bags, they are all a lot bigger than what their name suggests. And this bag, while it's a small, it looks probably more like a medium, but I'm not complaining because it makes it a great day bag and a really good travel bag as well. And the final pro that I have of this bag is that it has a shoulder strap. Now, granted, mine isn't adjustable nor is it removable. However, I frequently just lay it behind here. I don't find that it obstructs from the overall look of the bag. I also find it comes in really handy when I do fill it up a little bit more than usual and my arms are tired. I can just switch it onto the shoulder strap and just wear it very comfortably, and it doesn't feel as heavy as it does if you hold it like this. So I love the options that you have with the ways to wear the bag, and it just adds to the versatility aspect of it. So those are the pros done. Now I'm going to move on to the cons, of which you could probably imagine which ones they are. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the size. And it's a double-edged sword because I did mention how I do love the size. With the whole what's in my bag what fits in my bag exercise I did earlier, and when I weighed it, it was quite scary to see in front of me like literally how much heavier it was. Imagine carrying 3 bags of flour on your shoulder all day, and yes, you do have the options of different straps and stuff, but it's still a heavy bag. Another con that I have is related to the size point. So while it is a very big bag and it's very spacious, the zip opening here is rather narrow, and you could see that when I was straining to open it. Like, this is how far it opens. I actually don't really know why that is, because I think it's literally just the rigid nature of the patent leather in my case. I'm not sure whether it's the same for the other materials in the Antigona bag, but I think from the reviews that I have seen so far, it is a problem that most people identify, and it doesn't really bother me too much. However, if I was stuffing it like I did today with all of my essentials, then it can be quite annoying, because even though the zip is quite big and it doesn't cut your fingers or anything like that, it does brush up against it and it can be annoying. And say you've got delicate skin or you've just done your nails, you could probably ruin it by the amount of times that you're going in and out and constantly brushing up against the zip because of the narrow opening. Something that makes the narrow opening a little bit more annoying than it probably would be alone is the fact that these 2 top handle straps are just constantly in the way. Like, when you're trying to get something, you have to sort of wiggle your arm through here, or maybe even through here, to get your stuff. Which, you know, if you're, let's say you're at a checkout, you're looking to pay, you're trying to sort of play this weird game of fetching your stuff, and then obviously if it's in the zip compartment, you need to open that. That's another zip that your hand's going to have to feed through. But it's just a lot of fiddling around and things in the way. I mentioned earlier actually that I can fit my DSLR camera in here, which is fantastic. But I suppose because of the shape, which gradually gets narrower at the top, and then therefore there's a narrow zip or whatever, it can be annoying to have to sort of wiggle that size of object out of this bag. The next point that I have to mention is related to the shoulder strap. Now, I did mention obviously that this is not adjustable and it's not removable for me, so that's a problem that I have relative to this particular bag. However, that's not a problem if you have one of the newer models. I believe those are removable and are adjustable, which I think is fantastic. I wish that I was able to do that with my bag. I mean, I don't mind too much because I'm more bothered, I suppose, about the colorway and the exact material that I wanted. However, if it was possible for me to get said adjustable and removable strap, then I probably would take it up, because it can be annoying. It can be annoying when you are looking through your stuff and maybe that's in the way and it gets stuck in the middle, or it gets stuck here, and when I want to take pictures and the strap is here, I always have to remember to move it back. It's a very small thing, but probably one of the bigger considerations that I do have about the shoulder strap is the fact that, like, it's such a weird height, or length rather. Can you see that this is literally digging into my armpit, the top handles? If you had a bigger arm, this would be so annoying. It'd be like literally digging into your arm sweat. Can you imagine in the summer as well? Like, ew. So I kind of have to push it back a little bit, almost like this. But it's just an awkward height. And I mean, obviously, safety-wise, no one is going to get into your stuff this way. No one's going to reach into the armpit area and get stuff out. But I really don't think it was necessary to have a strap that would be this short. Again, this is related to my particular model. Though if you are buying pre-loved, then that's something to consider. Second to last con now, and this one is about just, I suppose, the general hype of the item. So I actually, not to digress too much, I made a video on a particular coat, the Zara/Acne aviator coat. And the basic argument behind that video was just the fact that that coat, that style of coat, was overworn and it was so saturated in the coat market that I just didn't know what to do with it. Now, I think it's fantastic, and I mentioned earlier, it's fantastic that this bag is sought after. It's still coveted just as it was when it was released in like the 2010s, and I do hope that it continues to be popular. And related to this topic, one of the cons that you might find is the popularization of the bag. I don't think it's quite on the same scale. In fact, I'm actually quite pleased that this item is having an enduring legacy and it's still going strong. However, I don't want this to be a situation like the Zara coat where everyone just has it, and granted, I'll probably be in a better position given mine is a very unique colour and I've never seen it since I bought this bag at Vista how many ever years ago. But I don't know if I would feel the same way if I walked around one day and everyone literally had the same bag, even if it wasn't in this exact colour. I don't know, it just gives you a feeling of like, there's too much. And then the final point that I want to mention that isn't really relevant for me, but I've noticed some other people have picked up on, is just the zip size here. And some people are saying that, you know, maybe it should have been a little bit of a skinnier zip and a bit more understated. I personally don't find it much of an issue. In fact, I think if it was a smaller one, it could even cut into your hand a little bit. If it is going to remain the same narrow opening, that it could just dig in a little bit more. So for me, it doesn't matter that much. Also, I think it makes the bag less serious, if you see what I mean, with these modern, edgy details. I personally don't mind it. It's just a small nitpicky thing, I suppose, that you might want to think about. So that's pros and cons done, and now I'm going to move on to my final section, which is wear and tear. So as you can see on this bag, it is basically like new. It's like the day that I bought it, and I'm so impressed. In fact, I'm really looking here, and there's like nothing. And I did actually previously have like a little blue mark, which I thought was colour transfer, and I got really scared, and it was really annoying because it was like on the front, it was like a sort of blue stripe here. And I remember trying to buff it out for ages and it just wouldn't come out. And then I just really worked at it. I think I even maybe went in with a wet wipe or something, and then it just came out like a miracle. You know, that's just a testament to the quality of the bag, and the price I paid for it is really paid for itself at this point. Inside as well, everything is pretty good inside, so I have no qualms about the wear and tear. I think this is fantastic. I think the matte versions might pit in a little bit. I don't think they're as sturdy as the patent leather bags are, but do correct me if I'm wrong if you do own the bag. And I'm also not sure what the wear and tear is like on the mini version or the bigger version, because I'm sure the bigger the bag, the looser the structure, so it might cave in a little bit. But overall for mine, my patent leather version, it is done really well. I'm very impressed. It's still got that beautiful shine on it. It retains its shape, there is no colour transfer, any marks that I've had on it has been able to be buffed out, no problems at all, and it just looks almost new all the time, which is fantastic. So after all of that, it's finally the end of this video. This is definitely one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my bag collection. It was my first neutral bag, and this is a bag that I really think will be a forever piece in my collection. I don't see myself getting rid of it. It's something that I could never get back. It's so unique in its colour, and I'm still in love with it today as I was back then. I hope you found this useful. I hope it helped you out if you're considering getting this bag yourself. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching if you have indeed made it this far, and I'll see you in my next video.